Yeah, obviously coming off a win against Southern Miss on Saturday, have a longer week this week with only one game on Saturday against a good Old Dominion team, obviously one of the best defensive teams in our league. So it'll be a kind of matchup of styles a little bit. We want to score the ball, they want to slow it down. So kind of it's going to be who can kind of get the tempo in their favor. Obviously it's to their advantage. And we have a week to prepare, try to get ready. So we'll get back to work today. Hopefully have a good practice and have a good week. Well, obviously it's good for the psyche to get a W. We had a tough stretch there. So anytime you're losing some games and you're on a little bit of a losing streak, guys it's easy for them to get down or whatever. So just for our psyche coming into this week, it was good to get that win on Saturday. I thought our guys played much better, particularly defensively, and we just got to keep heading in the right direction. Yeah, I think a lot of it will depend on game to game planning situations, but I think that's an area that I think can help us long term, particularly our defense on the side of the ball is try to play a little bit more full court pressure. But like I said, we just need to continue to mix things up and try to keep teams off balance as much as possible and not have to play every possession, half court man defense. Yeah, you're exactly right. It'll give us really kind of two extra practices that we normally don't get. And so during the course of a season, it's hard to find time to get good practices in. So to have a full week and to be able to get 4 practices in before we play our next game, I think will really benefit us, help us clean some things up, really take a look at the areas we need to focus on in those practices and try to get better. Exactly. My message was, before last game, we have 13 games left in the conference. That's a lot of games, a lot of chance to, get things headed in your momentum moving forward. Try to put together a win streak, and I think you do that. You win one game, maybe you win the next game, and then things start to build. And I think you take it one game at a time, but realize that ultimately you want to be playing your best basketball, heading down the stretch toward tournament time, and in the meanwhile, try to position yourselves to have a good opportunity. Well, I hope so. I think overall this season we've been much better in close games than we were last year. And so that's just a continued maturing process with a young and growing team. And so hopefully, we're in close battles with a lot of teams, and we can get over the hump and win a lot of those games. Well, they're good in the half court. They run a lot of action. They like to curl screens a lot, make you have to guard. They're physical. The biggest asset they've had over the past couple years is their offensive rebounding. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the league, and I believe it was last year we looked up statistics. They were getting almost 50% of their missed shots back, and it's hard to beat a team when they're doing that. So the rebounding, defensively, I think we'll be able to guard. But then you got to finish the play by getting the rebound, and that's the challenge against Old Dominion. Taylor and Stith, which I assume will play with the whole week to get ready. Those two guys are they're warriors underneath on the boards, and we're going to have to be ready for a physical game. Well, Braxton's been great. He's always got a great attitude. He was struggling with this shot early, and basically just kind of made a change to just shake things up a little bit, maybe take a little pressure off of him, come in off the bench and just be loose and obviously La Tech, he shot the ball extremely well, and obviously for us it gives us a really good punch offensively coming in off the bench, and so we'll keep working to kind of see how it goes, and see if we need to tweak lineups anymore. A lot of times it's who we're playing, the personnel we need out on the floor, but I like having somebody that can really come in and score the ball off the bench. I think it gives us some punch with the second unit coming in. Well, it's like I said, that's when we're playing at our best, when we're sharing the ball. The other night we had 5 guys in double figures, could have easily had 6, or 7. And when that's happening, that means we're sharing the ball. The balls, we talk about all the time, let the ball find the open man. Just keep moving it and it'll find him. And so, the more we do that, the better we're going to be. Yeah, I mean, John's, he's our leader, point guard out there, and we know he can score the basketball, and other teams are he's a big part of their game plan now because he's had such a good year. And so when that's happening, 2 guys are on you, there's somebody open, and he's seeing that hey, if he hits these guys, then eventually it's going to open back up for him. But, his growth as a point guard is, getting better and better at seeing the floor and really, not only scoring but being a great assist guy for us. Yeah, I think it's a mindset. I think you have to be focused in on wanting to be a good defensive team. It starts there, and then the second part is you have to execute, and you can't have the breakdowns. And I think those two things have hurt us early in the year. There might be some possessions where we play pretty good defense for 15, 20 seconds, and then there's that one breakdown that kind of kills you right at the end, or you play a good defensive possession and you let them get the offensive rebound. Those kind of things are kind of backbreaker kind of plays from a defensive standpoint. And so, I think our focus has really been let's finish the possession, and I think we've done a better job of that the last couple games.